Good morning. Thank you for sharing with us this morning. Auden said, "A culture is no better than its woods." My inspiration for this sermon, came as I was reading The Overstory by Richard Powers. This novel examines the relationships between several varied humans and the world of trees. From a giant chestnut on the plains of Kansas to the enormity of an endangered redwood forest in Oregon. One of the protagonists is an ecological biochemist who dares to present the ludicrous theory, which has now been proved in real science world, that plants communicate with each other and with us biologically. After all, we do share 25% of our genetic makeup with trees. Simultaneously, a friend offered me Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer, subtitled Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and Teachings of Plants. And both of these sources are cited in the chat today. Now, I don't know how synchronicity works. It just appears. So now I look at my yard, my garden, and see infinite connectedness. I highly recommend these books, best read sitting under a tree somewhere. Ah, Mother Nature, Mother Earth. Why do we call this mother instead of father? We know that biologically there needs to be a combining of essences to create new life, at least in the animal world. But what sort of power do we honor? The divine feminine, the one who sends us through her dark passage into the light of birth? The divine masculine, whose physical being helps clear the way for growth, who provides a hands up and an embrace to reassure the struggling child? Or perhaps a perfectly balanced combination that uses the best that both can offer in order to generate energy for survival. So far, only a female has the place in place designed to hold, carry, and bring forth beings. And we know somehow that we all come from that place in place, hanging out in darkness, drawing energy from her blood, waiting for the signal to emerge. And the father stands outside, beside the mother, sending his own strength and support of the miracle that is birthing. Support is his part. Now, partnership does not require specific body parts. No, that's something else. Some parents are female and male, some are not. But creating requires collaboration. Parenting requires more than that. There's no escaping our heritage. We are earthlings, born from the earth, made entirely of earth, bound to her by the pull of gravity. Some see earth as the great mother who gives birth and breath to us, nurtures us in the gravitational pull, feeds us first with the milk of her body, and then with the bounties growing from her, comforts us with her continuity of sun, moon, stars, seasons, then welcomes us as we rejoin her body at death. We are hers, she is ours, but not to own, not to control or reshape or repurpose for our own satisfaction. This is a relationship, mother and child, knowing elder, teacher, with eager student. We hunger for her comfort and seek her experience. Sharing is her way. Gifting unconditionally is her way. And in return, we share back. We honor our connection with all beings. Yes, even ticks and skeeters and bigots and holy martyrs. And bow to the earth, hands raised to the sky. We care for others, asking them what they need, and then looking in the infinite warehouse for just that thing and giving it with no thought of exchange value. We have it to give, so we give. We express gratitude to she who gives and shows us how to love without expectations. We participate in the spiral dance, stamping to the heartbeat drum, spinning to rebalance, singing joy or mourning with hearts open to the sky and to each other, feeling, being, breathing, living with the earth and all her creations, animal, vegetable, and mineral. Not on her or off her. Now about dominion. Somewhere back there, someone decided that it was the job of humans to steer the ship of Earth in a way that would provide a home for its passengers. We changed from wandering, foraging groups to planting, cultivating, herding, harvesting ones. And usually, at least for several millennia, we shared with all around us. Every member had a role: the planter, the hoer, the waterer, the herder, the milker, the slaughterer. Oh yes, that came about too. And then all worked as harvesters, sorting out seeds for next year and figuring out storage and distribution. This was non-gender specific work. Anyone who could or would do the job did it, and all were honored. But then, once upon a time, greed and fear became the drivers of the mechanism. Maybe it was just as simple as, I hate cabbages. I love green beans. I don't want to work on cabbage growing, so I will plant me a patch of green beans just for me. And this became, hey, get out of my garden. Go back to your old cabbage patch, kids, or I'll do something to keep you out. It's mine. It's all mine. Or, something like that. Yes, it comes back to sharing, the connection, to listening to the trees and the birds and the breeze, to wonder and amazement, looking for ways to participate in the process of being the human in the equation. Oh yes, we take one day per year to officially say thanks to our mother. Well, that leaves 364 more to remember her in our own ways. To honor her by thoughtfully harvesting and gratefully replanting. By using our minds to figure out solutions to problems like flooding and drought raging fires and disease, and then run those ideas past our wise women and men and through the spiritual hearts within us all. We must be willing to listen to the pine tree who says, listen, there's something you need to hear. Thoreau said, should I not have intelligence with the earth? Am I not partly leaves and vegetables and mold myself? Talk of mysteries. Think of our life in nature, daily to be shown nature, to come in contact with it, rocks, trees, the wind on our cheeks, the solid earth, the actual world, the common sense. Contact. Who are we? Where are we? So what it be?